Hello everybody, Marstog here again. I would like to take a look at this Kruleboyz list that placed 7th in a tournament a week or two ago, not very long. And this is again from wohammer.com, so if you're looking for some great coverage of all things related to Age of Sigmar, be sure to check them out. That's at wohammer.com. So this list placed 7th. This was... let's see, War Under the Mountain. So it was in Australia on March 25th and 26th, involving 19 players. So it was a rather small tournament. And, you know, the top three were Caradron Overlords, Slaves to Darkness, and Daughters of Cain, with our Kruleboyz placing 7th. Now, the thing that was odd about this is I'm not really sure why this is even being covered, because they placed 7th. But regardless. And the reason that I wanted to cover this list is because of how different the list is compared to all the kinds of things that I usually play, that I usually recommend, and that you see in top lists. So this is just a different way to play this faction. So Grin and Blades, Grand Strategy Wa, and Triumph Indomitable. So far, this is all very basic Kruleboyz stuff. But let's look at the leaders. Gobsprakk, the Mouth of Mork. Someone's playing Gobsprakk. Happy to see it. Snatch a Boss on Sludge Raker Beast with a Mork's Eye Pebble. So the choice of Mork's Eye Pebble is a very different choice from what I usually go for. Usually with Artifacts of Power, I have been recommending going with Arcane Tome. But again, it's not because of how good Arcane Tome actually is, but how we're actually lacking a lot of other options in this list. So Mork's Eye Pebble, once per battle at the start of the enemy shooting phase, you can say that you'll use the pebble, and then the bearer and all friendly units wholly within 12 inches have a ward of 5 up until the next phase. So it, like, once per game in the shooting phase, you have a 5-up ward. So the fact that this is on a Snatcher Boss means that all of the units that are gaining the benefit of his Sludge Raker Venom are also going to get a 5-up ward against shooting. Now, I can't say if this choice is good or bad in the meta of that player's tournament, right? But, so we're invisible outside of 12 because we're Grinning Blades. So for this to be useful, they have to be inside of 12 inches and still shooting us. So off the top of my head, I'm not sure what lists are going to be doing this. Maybe like Daughters of Cain. I'm like, to be honest, please in the comments below, can you please tell me what Mork's Eye Pebble would be very good against? I'm very curious. Mount Trait Meenan. So Meenan. What it does is that when you carry out a stomp, it's a D6 instead of a D3. So this is good every turn, right? Every turn, your Meenan is gonna give you that benefit. Like, again, it's like in my head, it's like, is this player playing against hordes of small shooters, right? And they want to be able to stop that. Like the shooting within 12, or not stop it, but stop your Bolt Boys from being destroyed in one turn. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. Please, in the comments, let me know what lists this would do well against. I am super curious. Kill a Boss on Great Gnashtooth. This is our general with Super Sneaky. Great choice. And so the artifact of power that they went with here is the Eye Biter Ash. So the Eye Biter Ash, once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can say that the bearer will hurl it. And then so you pick one enemy within 3 inches and roll a die. On a 1 to 2, nothing happens. So, on a 3 to 4, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit for the rest of the phase. And on a 5-up, subtract 1 from hit rolls for the rest of the battle. So I don't fully understand the choice. the Gnash Tooth is going to run around and with its movement speed of 10 and its 3-up save and do its thing. And then once per battle, there's a 1 in 3 chance this artifact of power does nothing. And 2 in 3 chance that at least for that turn, they get -1 to their hit rolls. So I don't really understand. Swamp Collar Shaman with Pot Grot ×2. Choking Mist, Nasty Hex, awesome, great, good spells. Murknob with Belchabana, our cheapest Galatian champion with Tunnel Master. We see this everywhere. This is pretty standard. If you haven't played with this in the meta right now or in the game right now, I recommend giving it a try. Because, again, cheapest Galatian champion with Tunnel Master, he's basically here to try to give us, to try to help us get our battle tactics. Here's where I feel the list really changes, is in the battle line section. I don't like Gut Rippers. I've talked about this a lot. This player is running a unit of 20 Gut Rippers, a unit of 10 Gut Rippers, a unit of 20 Hobgrots, and a unit of 10 Hobgrots. This is a lot of meat. One of the problems with the Kruleboy army is that we don't have a lot of units that can project themselves out onto the map to take objectives. We're a castle army, and we'll give up board positions, we'll give up all kinds of things because we have to sort of sit and defend. And this list is very much like, well, we're actually going to put ourselves out there. We're going to send big groups of Gut Rippers. I don't like. If you like these kinds of lists where you play these lots of bodies, like, please, I'm super curious to have discussions about this, because I don't fully appreciate why you would run these, because the way that I think about the army and the way that I play the army is very, very different. You can even see up here, right? Like Gobsprak. So Gobsprak here doesn't have Fasten. We have 3 Wa pieces, so that's nice, right? Gobsprak, Snatch a Boss, and Kill a Boss. That's fine. And I guess Gobsprak can cast all the spells. So I don't know. It just seems difficult to me. And there's not even a Fasten. Is this like, I would almost feel like it's super castle-y, but then it's not, because like, look at all these bodies that we're running. I don't really get it. I also am not sure about how I feel about 20 Hobgrots in one unit, because you're not going to get anything in melee, because they all have a range of 1. So it's like, are you going to string them out in this really big long line? And if that's what you wanted to do, why not just have 2 units of 10, right? Why not have 3 units of 10 Hobgrots? You can put them where they need to go. Because like, what are you going to lose 8 Hobgrots, and then in the Battle Shock phase you're going to lose a whole bunch more, because this list only runs 1 Kill Boss, so we can't be everywhere. So instead of losing 8 Hobgrots and then the last 2 running, you're going to lose 8 Hobgrots. So they have a bravery of 4. So if you lose 8 Hobgrots and you roll a 1, you're still losing like 7 more so it's 1. So if you lose 8, so that roll is 9, so that's 5 above. Like, and then if you roll a 6, you're losing 10 more Hobgrots. Like, so many Hobgrots are running. And there's no way that you can have this 1 Kill-a-Boss in such a position where, you're going to save all of your little units everywhere. And then only 6 Bolt Boys. 1 unit of 6 Bolt Boys. And then a Kill-a-Bow. And, I don't know. My sort of, people seem to like the Kill-a-Bow and they seem to play the Kill-a-Bow, but I feel like it's unplayable, because at best you have less than a 50% chance of it doing anything. When it goes off, like if you roll a 6, it has 1 attack. So if you roll a 6 and then you get to deal, and you have the right target, and like when it goes off, it's going to go off big. if you're rolling 18 dice for damage +2, right? Like you're gonna really get in there and deal lots of damage. But when it doesn't do anything, it does nothing. It's 100 points sitting on the table. And people have made arguments to me. They've said, well, it's only 100 points, or my opponent is so afraid of it that it's more about zoning out that, but I don't know. I don't know. And then we got some sharpshooters and Galatian Command. What's in the Galatian Command? 20 Gut Rippas and the Belchabana. Galatian Command. Like, maybe. Like, they could attack in the hero phase, but like they're not gonna survive. Like, they're gonna just die. They're gonna just die, and they're gonna die. And then the hero phase comes around, and what? You're not, like, what are you attacking with? I don't know. Anyway, that's the list. 1990 points, 12 drops. Not controlling who's gonna go first at all. 163 wounds. Anyway, that's it. Please, in the comments below, tell me why this list is good. Tell me why. Tell me in what meta. Tell me in what context this list would be good. Because I believe that this player knows what they're doing, right? And that they have a plan and a strategy. I just don't. I'm still relatively... I'm still learning a lot. I'm still learning a lot about this game. So please let me know in the comments below. But until then, like, subscribe, wah.